Hello, Danny's My Bot Forever 22. Welcome to the stream. Today is August 8th, 8/8, which is the Lionsgate portal. If you are into meditation and breath work and manifesting, there's a lot of energy today. There's a lot of alignment today. Today's a great opportunity to just say, it's now, now's the time, and step into that person, that event, that experience that you're looking to bring into your life. So, for about 5 minutes here in a little bit, we'll go into some breath work. And for the Lionsgate breath work, the way it will work is you're going to inhale in your nose to a count of 8. You hold for a count of 4. And then you exhale through your mouth to a count of 8. And you hold it out for a count of 4. And you inhale through your nose, hold for a count of 4, exhale through your mouth, hold for a count of 4. Now, these inhales and the exhales are counts of 8. So 8 in, hold for 4. 8 out, hold for 4. And you do this for a round of 8, and then we'll do 8 rounds of it for the Lionsgate. I'm going to let the stream run for a minute before we get started. But if you have any questions, if you're curious more about breath work, now's the time to drop it in the comments before we get started. When we do start breathing, we have our eyes closed. And our eyes won't look up towards the top of our forehead. And as we're doing that, while we're breathing, with the in count of 8, holding for 4, and then exhaling for 8, holding for 4, as we breathe, and as we're looking upward with our eyes closed, it's then the perfect time to visualize the reality that you're looking to live. If you're looking to transform something in your life, if you're looking to land that new job, if you're looking to move, if you're looking to restore your health, if you're looking to fill in the blank, visualize you with that complete. And then start to embrace that feeling of what it will feel like when it's complete. So if you're looking for that job, for a guy with a weed eater next door, then you're going to get that. You're going to get what you manifest. So apparently, I might have been manifesting a weed eater guy, but it's okay because it's about rolling with the punches, right? So you visualize that experience you're trying to visualize, but then you have to embody the feeling. So if you feel gratitude, happy, joy, you want to start visualizing that experience and the feeling that it will bring you as we breathe with a count of 8 in our nose, hold for a count of 4, exhale through our mouth to a count of 4. Right, to a count of 8. So it's 8 in, hold, 8 out, hold. And as you're doing it, your eyes are closed, looking upwards here towards your third eye, which is actually back here. But as you breathe, you'll start to notice a coherence between your brain and your heart. And that's the goal, is to get your heartbeat to match the pulse that you feel on the top of your head. And as you're doing that and you're breathing, you want to visualize that reality that you're looking to live. Okay? So we're going to start here in a moment, and we're just going to breathe through our nose in for a count of 8. Hold for a count of 4. Exhale through our mouth for a count of 8. And then when you're breathing out, you want to hold for a count of 4 before you inhale through your nose for a count of 8. So when you first start, you just focus on the breath work, right? And once you get into a few sessions of the breath work, and then you can start focusing on the direction of your eyes. When your eyes are closed, you want to look up, and then you can begin to visualize the reality. I'm just going to do one round. Okay, so I'm going to inhale through my nose for a count of 8. Hold for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 8. Hold for a count of 4. Right? And so as we're breathing, the important part is at first just focus on counting your breath. So you count the seconds you're breathing in up to 8 through your nose, and then you hold for a count of 4. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 8, and then your exhale you hold for a count of 4. So there's breathing in, breathing out, and holding. And then once you get your breathing down, you can then focus on, with your eyes closed, looking inwards to the top of your head, with then visualizing the reality that you're looking to manifest. Okay? And with the energy of this Lionsgate portal, you can bring in the energy of what's happening with the alignment and maximize the power of our manifestation. If you guys like what I'm doing here, hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, hit subscribe. Okay, let's start. 1, 2. All right, so we're breathing in for a count of 8, holding for a count of 4, exhaling through it for a count of 8, holding for a count of 4. And I just did that for a round of 8. For the first round, we're going to do 8 rounds of Lionsgate Breathwork Manifestation Meditation. Thanks for being here, Marcos. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. I will say, so in the first round, what I was trying to do is I was just trying to focus on getting the breath work in. I had some distractions, but we're going to have distractions. That's part of life, right? It's just a matter of continuing on. So when I was breathing, I noticed that when I was exhaling, I had a hard time with holding for a count of 4 on the exhale. I wanted to inhale right away, and that's common. It's one of the things you just kind of have to work through. But the true breath is on the way out of the mouth. When you exhale through your mouth and then you hold, it's a perfect time to then visualize in your mind that perfect self, that vision that you're trying to create, that goal that you're trying to hit, that target, right? And then as you're inhaling, you can then start to embrace the feeling that you're going to have when you accomplish that goal. So in a moment, we're going to start again. And so what we do is we breathe in our nose for a count of 8. So as you're breathing, count to 8 in your head. Once you do that, you hold in for a count of 4. And if you focus on your heart when you're holding in, that helps. And then as you exhale through your mouth, we do it for a count of 8. And then after you have exhaled, then you hold out for a count of 4. And then you repeat for 8 times. So it's an 8-round cycle. 8 in, hold for 4, 8 out, hold for 4. And this time, after the second round, you might be able to then start to be able to work on your visualization. So if you're looking to, move to a beach home, you want to picture yourself out on the patio, looking at the water, smelling the air, swinging in your hammock, things like that. If you're looking to, win the lottery, picture yourself looking at the winning numbers and looking at the money in your bank account. If you're picturing yourself healing yourself from some sort of an ailment, picture yourself reading the positive lab results, and then start to embrace that feeling of what it will begin to feel like. So if it's gratitude, if it's joy, if it's enlightenment, excitement, whatever it might be, as you're starting to see what it is you're looking to do, you then can begin to bring in that feeling. So the first step, though, is just mastering breath. So if you can begin to just get the breath work down and then focus on your heart and then begin feeling the vibration throughout your body, you begin to activate your system. And that's the process. And we go through and we do this 8 times, and then we have a meditation at the end. Okay? So let's take a few practice breaths here, and then in a moment we'll get started again. Okay, before we get started, just as a reminder, after the video, if you guys go to my channel, There's some links that I've put out there. I've created some community links for freedom seekers and other things that I'm building, and I invite you guys to check it out. Okay, so we're going to start here in a moment, and again, we're going to breathe in our nose for a count of 8, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 8, hold for a count of 4, and then we do that 8 times. Okay, ready? All right, that's round 2. I want to hear you guys in the comments. How did it go for you? For me, I was able to get my heart and my brain coherent pretty much by the second breath. There were a few times where my thoughts wandered to the past, um, but the goal was just to get back to my breath. And as soon as I refocused on the breath, I was able to focus on the now and then visualize the future that I'm manifesting. And the big thing, it's a very it's good to have something very big and lofty that you're aiming for. right? So whatever it is that you're looking to pursue on your goal list, the bigger these goals are, the bigger the things that we're pursuing, the better. And this is the perfect time to visualize the dream life, right? And even if you don't exactly create that perfect life, it's who you become in that process. And so this Lionsgate portal, it's August 8th every year. The alignment of the planets, the sun, the moon, it allows for perfect opportunity to bring a lot of this into fruition. And so what we're doing is an 8-round breathwork session. We breathe in our nose for 8 seconds. We hold for 4 seconds. We exhale for 8 seconds. We hold for 4 seconds. And then we do that 8 times. We just did round 2. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we'll do round 3. In 30 seconds, we'll begin round 4 of the Lion's Gate breathwork. We're inhaling through our nose for a count of 8, holding for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 8, holding out for a count of 4. When your eyes are closed, you want to be focused looking up inward, and then to begin to visualize in your third eye what you're looking to bring into your life, as it's a now. So when we're visualizing it, visualize as it being now. Okay? Breath work begins as soon as